The Storyteller presents American Made.
February 25, 2029. Dubai. 400 meters up in the air. The Burj Khalifa sparkles in the morning sun. It is no longer the tallest building in Dubai, much less the world, but it stands gracefully. In one of the upper floors, a most elite gathering is being held.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate.
President Johnson tried not to stare at the Saudi princess. Yes, she was by all objective standards one of the most beautiful women he'd ever seen, but she also happened to be dripping in finely woven golden threads and wearing a tiara that was according to the Secret Service, bought from the English Republic's crown jewels. The man beside her, a tall Chinese man in military garb, was no slouch either. He was well-built and looked immaculate in his dress whites with red and gold trim, accented by his military awards. But compared to the statuesque 5'11" olive-skinned, almond-eyed beauty, he, like everyone else in the room, was a mere mortal. Luckily, President Johnson's wife, Michelle, was also transfixed by the bride, and he was relieved that he was able to stop looking before she had noticed. First Lady Michelle Johnson was wearing the new Mega xVerse contact lenses. Princess Jasmine had promised that everyone wearing Mega xVerse augmented reality lenses or spectacles would receive a special bonus app of her in all her AR. Wedding dress glory. Michelle remarked that the princess was a literal angel when viewed in AR. Whatever the First Lady was seeing must have taken her already gorgeous dress and ramped it up to 11. No expense was spared for this wedding. The top half of the Burj Khalifa, highest quality mixed reality, mega blockchain apps, a yacht built for the occasion. What elite kids won't do for love, even if the rest of the world is turning to shit.
There is always time for love,
Johnson surmised, smiling. This was a handsome couple, the Princess Royal of the Saudi family, and the Chinese president's son, a power couple. A couple so powerful that the presidents and prime ministers of the new G6+1 all showed up to sit shoulder to shoulder with Emirati sheikhs and global tech moguls, to smile and nod and shake hands and pose for pictures. When the wedding invite came written in platinum ink on cloned Egyptian papyrus, Michelle had said that it read like a summoning.
The Crown Princess and future President requests your gracious presence for their nuptials. Please make your latest viral readout available up to 4 days before the ceremony and refrain from public gatherings with viral load level 3 and above population. Only approved mega devices will be usable at the venue. Bridal gifts will be accepted through the Megastore wish list.
There was no RSVP, no option.
The future president? Crown princess? These kids must have lost their damn minds.
Michelle guffawed. The White House press secretary winced, hoping that these opinions didn't somehow find their way onto the mega network. Looking around the room, President Johnson saw that, like good pets, all the important world leaders had been brought to heel in the same way. The English, European, Brazilian, Indian, Chinese, and African presidents, Silicon Valley and Metaverse leaders, almost everyone with one exception, Richard Leng. Only he could get away with ignoring this wedding.
He could have at least sent one of his clones.
Michelle had joked while they were in the Beast, the armored limo that they traveled in when in public.
I'm sure even his clones are too egotistical to imagine someone else being the center of attention for one day.
He had joked back wryly. Rumors of Richard's clones was a not too serious but also kind of serious joke among the White House staff. They would be illegal and grounds for an arrest, so the Justice Department and FBI were scouring the planet and all record looking for evidence of this. Even in the confines of the specially built electronic surveillance blocking tank, with the Secret Service checking for bugs 8 times a day, Johnson could never be too sure if Mega was listening. Ever since Richard announced Lucy and xVerse, the speed of change in the world had increased and gone in unplanned directions. Borders began to soften. People's minds became less their own. Industries began consolidating and definitions became less and less fungible, even as tokens became more so. Thankfully, Richard suffered from the typical tech CEO penchant for exaggeration. With Americans' patchy 6G wireless network and air pollution, connectivity was still a massive issue for the quantum render spaces. Touch was still years away, and communication was more like a fever dream during peak times.